Okay, Special Magistrate, we're ready.
We're ready? All right. Good morning, everybody. This is a code enforcement hearing for the city of North Miami. Today is April the 15th, and I am Jose Smith, the special magistrate sitting this morning on behalf of the city of North Miami. The special magistrate is empowered under the laws of the state of Florida and the North Miami Code to hold code violation hearings. The purpose of this hearing is to determine if a code violation exists at your property as seen by the code enforcement officer of the city of North Miami. If the city is not able to prove the case, then I will dismiss the case and you may leave. These proceedings are being recorded. Therefore, all persons who are speaking should speak one at a time to ensure that the testimony is clearly audible on the recording device. If English is not your primary language, then please inform me when I call your case. We have interpreters who will assist you during these proceedings. When your case is called, the property owner, agent for the property owner, and any witness that you may have should come forward, announce yourself, and I will give you the opportunity to testify. When asked, please speak directly into the microphone and say aloud your name, your business, your mailing address, and your relationship to the property. If you are not the property owner or an attorney representing the property owner, then you must present a notarized power of attorney in order for your testimony to be taken on behalf of the property owner. For new cases, you will be asked for the record if you are aware of and understand the violation that is being heard today. And do you understand what is required to resolve the violation? Please answer accordingly. The city will present its case first, and then the property owner will be given an opportunity to testify on their behalf and bring forward witnesses to testify, to present written evidence, oral evidence, photographs, and also to cross-examine the city's witnesses. Following the case presentation, I will issue a finding of fact on the case. If I find that a violation of the code exists or existed on the property, then depending upon the type of case, I will set an abatement or compliance date for the violation to be resolved. Or for repeated violations, I will impose a daily fine amount at my discretion. For new non-repeat cases, my order will include an abatement date by which you must resolve the violation and a daily fine amount that I may impose at a future hearing date should the violation not be resolved by the abatement date. If I find sufficient cause to postpone the enforcement action at this time, I will table or continue the case to another hearing date in the future. If you do not agree with my findings of fact and or ruling, then the property owner may appeal the administrative order on the case to the circuit court. An appeal must be filed within 30 days of the execution of my administrative order in order to be able to be timely appealed. In accordance with Florida law, if a person decides to appeal any decision made by the special magistrate with respect to any matter considered at these proceedings, then the person will need a transcript or a verbatim record of these proceedings. This record includes the testimony and evidence upon which the appeal is to be heard. The cost of obtaining the verbatim record shall be the sole responsibility of the appellant. And it is recommended that persons who plan to appeal their case should provide their own court reporter at these proceedings. Pursuant to city codes, if the city of North Miami prevails in prosecuting a case before the special magistrate, the city shall be entitled to recover all costs incurred in prosecuting the case. The current cost assessment amount is $100 per case. Once the city records an order that imposes a fine and authorizes a lien against the property, then the city will charge additional administrative fees to record and release the lien. At this point, I believe it is appropriate for me to turn it over to the police officer for the Pledge of Allegiance.
If you're able to stand where you are, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Hold on, let me get the flag up, sorry.
Repeat after me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Do we swear the witnesses now?
Not yet, sir. The clerk is going to read in her instructions and then we'll swear the staff and the interpreters in.
Good morning, and thank you for participating in today's special magistrate hearing. I will review the process by which today's hearing will be conducted. Make sure your device is muted at all times unless you're giving testimony on the case. If you are using two devices to participate in today's hearing, be sure your audio is only enabled on one device. If you registered in advance for today's hearing, your case will be given priority. When your case is called, in your system, you will receive a notification that it has been given access to audio and video so that you may give your testimony. If you did not register in advance and you would like to speak on behalf of a case, when the case is called, I will ask whether there is anyone present on behalf of the property. If you want to speak, please click the raise hand button to be given ability to speak on the case. Once the magistrate allows you to give testimony on your case, please state your name, property address, and relationship to the property. So now the swearing in for city staff. Before we begin.
You guys can come and be sworn in.
Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in these proceedings shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? If so, please say, I do.
I do.
At this time, we'll swear in the interpreters. Real interpreter, can you please enable your video?
Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the translations which you're about to give in these proceedings will be accurate and correct to the best of your knowledge, skill, and ability? Please say, I do.
I do.
I do.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ready to proceed.
All right, any additions, deletions, amendments to the agenda?
There are no additions or deletions to the agenda, your magistrate, and I will now proceed with reading the default citations into records. These citations were issued with a deadline for correction with no compliance. The first case is 13100 Sunrise Plaza LLC, the case number CTMIS 2021-00014, not paid and no compliance. The next case is 13333 Investments Inc., case number CTMIS 2021-00011, not paid, no compliance. The next case is 13331 Investments Inc., CTMIS 2021-00012, not paid, no compliance. 13715 Holdings LLC, case number CTSIP 2021-00006, not paid, no compliance. Case number 400 Northeast 137th Street, Prestige Vista. Case number SDCVT 2021-00012, not paid, no compliance. Ashima Kapoor, case number PDFAO 2021-00009, not paid, no compliance. BCBG LLC, case number CTSIP 2021-00001. paid, however, no compliance. BCBG LLC, case number CTSIP 2021-00007, not paid, has complied. Edmund Bernard, CTBPR 2021-00023, not paid, no compliance. Irvin Peretz, PDFAO 2021-00011, not paid, no compliance. Exancia Voltaire, CTBPR 2021-00031, not paid, no compliance. Gator 13090 Northwest 7th Avenue, CTSIP 2021-00003, not paid, has complied. Hamu 2 Investments LLC, case number SDCVT 2021-00011, not paid, has complied. Joyce Osley, CTBPR 2021-00029, paid, no compliance. June 18 Properties LLC, case number PDFAO 2021-00010, not paid, has not complied. Laura Escobar, case number CTBPR 2021-00025, not paid, not complied. Lorraine Kins Toussaint, case number CTBPR 2021-00026, paid, no compliance. NMB Partners LLC, case number PDFAO 2021-00012, not paid, not complied. Rural Investments Trust, case number CTMIS 2021-00017, not paid, not complied. Rural Investments CTSIP 2021-00008, not paid and not complied. Rural Investments Trust CTSIP 2021-00009, not paid and not complied. And that concludes our default tickets.
All right, thank you, very well. So as to those cases that have not paid and or are out of compliance based on the affidavit and the presentations made by the city, I find in favor of the city and grant default judgments accordingly. Thank you.
Now we're moving into our default ticket appeal. The first case I'm going to call into record is Heiner Chinchilla, case number CTSTR 2021-00001. This person should be in our Zoom meeting. The property address is 467 Northeast 129th Street. The officer for this case is Edme St. Louis. Heiner Chinchilla.
Heiner Chinchilla.
Okay,
2021.
at this time, if you're here on behalf of this property, please click the raise hand feature in the Freddie Arietta. Okay, this is a different person.
No, Heiner Chinchilla should have signed in. He was registered yesterday.
I have a Heiner Chinchilla. I'm gonna unmute you, Freddie. Can you just tell me what property you're here on behalf of, please? Freddie, what property are you here on behalf of?
Hello, can you hear me?
I can.
Perfect. Good morning, guys. I am with Heiner Chinchilla and me, Freddy Farieta, with both owners of 467 Northeast 129th Street.
Okay, I'm going to enable your video and audio just a moment.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay, is there anyone else here besides the two of you on behalf of this property?
No, ma'am.
Okay, great. At this time, the clerk will swear the two of you in.
Can you please raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear and affirm that the testimony you're about to give in these proceedings shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Please say I do.
I do.
Thank you.
All right, I see Freddie Farieta. Who is the other gentleman?
Heiner Chinchilla. Both are owners of the property under review.
Okay, and do you understand what the nature of the violation and the basis for the appeal is?
Correct. Yes.
Okay, you've appealed a violation issued under the short-term rental advertising ordinance. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay. Let me hear first from the city, and then I'll allow you to present your case.
Thank you.
City?
It's a ticket appeal, sir, so the city attorney,
Oh, the city attorney will handle the presentation, the question. Okay, go ahead.
Carolyn, are you frozen? It looks like you might be.
We're okay. We're okay. We
Oh,
can.
no.
Fine. The city attorney is frozen.
Oh, okay.
Carolyn, are you there?
Corporation nou kote ou la, corporation nou di mse avek personel mpeye li. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, magistrate, if we just give the attorney just a moment, she's gonna call in. She's having some technical difficulties. with-
All right, we'll take a couple minute recess. Freddie, Mr. Chinchilla, you can relax for a couple minutes while we try to get the city attorney on the line.
Not a problem, sir.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Carolyn, are you there? Carolyn, are you there?
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. Can you hear us?
Yes.
Okay. Magistrate, I do believe we have the city attorney available.
All right, Madam City Attorney, you want to proceed with the presentation of the city's case?
Yes, Special Magistrate. At this time, City calls Code Compliance Officer Edme St. Louis.
I'm here.
She's
Good
here.
morning, ma'am.
and
How are
sworn.
you?
Doing great yourself?
Well, can you explain to the Special Magistrate a little bit about your background as an employee with the City of North Miami?
Sure. My name is Code Officer Edme St. Louis. Been employed with the city full-time since 2017, and I'm a code officer.
What are your responsibilities as a code officer?
To address complaints, violations, or any other complaints that comes in from the residents, and proceed with daily work tasks.
Okay, let me direct your attention to February 3rd of 2021, around 11:15 in the morning. Did you issue a citation on that day?
Yes, I did.
Okay, let me direct your attention to the address at 467 Northeast 129th Street in North Miami, Florida. Did you issue a citation to a violator whose mailing address is located there?
Yes, I did.
Okay, how did you come across that violation?
This violation was issued to me through the city's complaint app, Mynomi app, per my colleague who was in charge of searching for short-term rental. Upon receiving it, I clicked the link, I noticed the house, drove through my assigned area, took a picture of the house, and issued citation.
Okay, you said you received a violation through the Mynomi app. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Can you explain a little bit for the special magistrate how the Mynomi app works and who has the ability to submit complaints?
Yes, through the Mynomi app is for the residents and also for the city employees. Any issues they observe or complaints they want to be addressed, it gets directed to said department and also to the employees in that department. And upon receiving them, we have to follow through with the inspection.
Okay, regarding the citation that you issued on February 3rd of 2021, who submitted that complaint?
My colleague, Officer Barber.
Okay, did you have a chance to speak with Officer Barber?
No, but I did have the chance to click the link per the issue in question.
Okay, and when you clicked the link, what did you see?
That the house was listed on the VRBO for short-term rental.
Okay, and have you had any experiences with VRBO in the past?
No,
Okay, do you know what VRBO stands for?
no, I don't.
Is it a website or some sort of site where folks are allowed to rent houses?
Yes, it is. It's almost like Airbnb.
Okay, and what did you observe when you clicked the link on VRBO?
The picture of the front house, and also in the picture, it depicts that the owner is renting the sub house to the left of the property. And I have those documents also attached to the violation. And upon addressing the issue, I noticed the house and took a picture and issued the violation.
Okay. After you, one second. When you said you took a picture, did you submit those pictures already? Let me rephrase that. Do you have a copy of the pictures and the advertising that you saw on the VRBO rental page?
Yes, I do.
Do you physically have a copy with those with you?
I can submit them into the record.
Okay. At this point, I'd ask that a copy of the advertisement that the Code of Compliance officer has just referenced be submitted into evidence.
Let me see it first.
Would you please scan a copy of the packet, the VRBO pictures, to the special magistrate?
I'm looking at him right now. Any objection from the property owners to the introduction of these photographs into the record?
Yes.
What's the objection?
All right. When back in 2017, we went through hardships ourselves, and
No, I don't want to hear your case right now. I just want to know whether or not you object to the introduction into evidence.
Yes, I
documents.
object.
Is it your house or is it not your house?
It is our house.
Okay, so what's the basis for the objection?
The basis for the objection is that we called BRBO Experian. We asked them to remove the listing because we didn't want to have any trouble with the city. And the reason why I went back to 2017 is because we listed the house back then because we were going through hardships. And the rental was really not what we were expecting. We did advertise it. We didn't know about the law. We didn't know about this violation. When we found out about it, we delisted this property. And as a matter of fact, if you try to go and do a reservation, you can't. Unfortunately, when we have little control of what content is in online, and we have tried several routes to get this removed because we don't want it removed. We want it removed, but we've been having that situation with it.
All right, sir, let me stop you right there. I understand what you're saying, but I'm going to allow the city to introduce the documents into evidence, and then you will be able to explain what you just said to me. And whether you had control or you didn't have control or what happened, I'll hear from you later, but I'm gonna let those documents come into evidence. So, counsel, you may proceed.
Thank you, Special Magistrate. Ms. St. Louis, on the fourth page of that VRBO printout, do you see Heiner Chinchilla listed?
Yes, his name is on there.
Okay. And at some point in time, did you come to find out who Heiner Chinchilla was?
Yes, the day that I issued the ticket, I actually made contact with both property owners and handed them the citation.
Okay. And what are the names of both property owners?
Heiner Chinchilla and Freddie Ferrita. My apologies if I'm pronouncing your name wrong.
No worries.
Farieta.
Yes.
Okay. You're saying that the day you issued the citation, you made contact with both property owners. How did you come into contact with them?
I knocked on the door, and upon knocking on the door, Mr. Chinchilla answered the door, and I
Let me stop
explained
you
to
right
him-
there. When you got to the door, are you referring to the house that was listed in the VRBO located at 467 Northeast 129th Street?
Yes.
How soon after seeing that advertisement on the vacation rental website did you go to the actual house?
The same day, because I have the
Okay.
pictures listed.
And when you got to the house, did the house, was it the same house that you saw in those pictures?
Yes, it is.
Okay, when I say those pictures, I'm referring to the website, the vacation rental website. It was the same house, correct?
That is correct.
Okay, please continue. Once you got to the house, what happened next?
Then I knocked on the door, and Mr. Chinchilla answered the door. I explained to him what the nature of the citation, and he also explained to me that per Florida statute, that I would need to go and look into the statute in reference to what he was referring to, that I cannot just issue him a citation. So then I
Okay. Any
proceeded
other
with explaining.
Please
Yeah,
continue.
the witness hasn't completed her answer.
Then I proceeded with explaining to Mr. Chinchilla that in order to resolve this matter, he would have to contact VRBO to get the site removed. And also, if he would like to appeal the ticket, he can also proceed with appealing it.
Any other statements made by Mr. Chinchilla or any of the owners for this house located at 467 Northeast 129th Street?
No.
Okay. And at some point when you were at the house, did you take pictures of the house?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Do you have those pictures with you?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Can you explain what the pictures are?
A picture of the front yard of 467 Northeast 129th Street.
Okay. And is there a second picture with you as well?
Yes, the copy of the VRBO listings.
Okay. At this point, I'd ask that you submit a picture of the house that you took on February 3rd of 2021 to the special magistrate. Special magistrate, at this point, we'd offer that into evidence, the picture.
Admit it.
And Officer St. Louis, did you issue a citation with the citation number 14076 on February 3rd of 2021?
Yes, I did.
Why did you issue that citation?
Because the listings were on VRBO, and as well as I was able to depict the property and issue the citation for the advertisement.
Okay. Okay. And which section of the City of North Miami's code is the short-term rental advertisement at 467 Northeast 129th Street a violation of?
5-30, subsection D.
Okay. At do you have a copy of the code compliance citation 14076 with you?
Yes.
Okay. At this time, the city would offer into evidence a copy of that code compliance citation 14076.
Can you read it for the record?
short-term rental advertisement on VRBO. Property address 467 Northeast 129th Street, Miami, Florida 33161. And it's signed by Code Officer Edmund St. Louis.
Special Magistrate, has this been accepted into evidence?
Yes, it has.
Code Compliance Officer St. Louis, did you at some point, did you give a copy of the citation over to the property owners?
Yes, I did.
When did you do that?
After I took a picture, I knocked on the door first, posted, then knocked on the door again to hand a copy to Mr. Chinchilla.
Okay, so you posted the citation and you handed a copy to Mr. Chinchilla, is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. Did you explain to Mr. Chinchilla the deadline that he or the other property owner had in order to correct the violation?
Yes, I did. It's also listed on the citation.
Okay. And what date did they have as a deadline to correct the citation?
February 17th, 2021.
Was the citation corrected by February 17th of 2021?
No,
And how do you know this?
because when I checked the website, the listing was still on there. But as of the April 4th, when I double checked the website, the listing was removed.
Okay. Do you have a picture of the citation that you posted on the door at
Yes,
the
I do.
467 Northeast 129th Street home?
Is it time
Yes, I do.
we asked when they removed?
At this point in time, I'd ask that the picture of the citation listed at 467 Northeast 29th Street be admitted into evidence.
Made it.
Officer St. Louis, what does section 5-30 subsection D of the City of North Miami Code require or prohibit?
For property owners to not advertise any short-term rental on any rental sites for less than 3 months.
Okay. At some point in time, did you go to the Office of the Property Appraiser's website?
Yes, I did.
And what did you find once you went to the Property Appraiser's website?
The address of Mr. Chinchilla with his name and also the mailing address.
Okay. And did you submit a notice to appear to the address listed at the Property Appraiser's website?
Can you please repeat the question?
Did you submit a notice to appear at the address listed, the mailing address listed at the Property Appraiser's website?
Yes, I did submit a notice to appear for this hearing.
Okay. Did you submit that certified mail return receipt?
I don't have that mail return receipt. That was from the admin office. But I do have the mail certified receipt from when the initial ticket was mailed.
Okay. And do you also have an affidavit of the posting?
Yes, I do.
Okay. At this point, I would ask that the Code Compliance Officer submit this to the Special Magistrate, and the city would like to submit this as evidence.
Admit it.
Okay. Code Compliance Officer St. Louis, is there anything else that you, any other information that you have related to this property and this violation that you would like to submit to the Special Magistrate?
A copy of the property being in compliance with the site removed. I have that as well.
Okay. And that's from April 1st, correct?
That's from April 10th.
April 10th, excuse me, 5 days ago. Will you submit that as well, please?
Yes.
It's admitted.
At this point, the city has no further questions.
Let me clarify a couple of points before I turn it over to the property owner. Can you put up the copy of the advertisement? The advertisement. I want you to show me where in the advertisement is there a reference to a short-term rental, meaning a rental for less than 3 months.
Where it says minimum stay 2 nights and, down some more.
Highlight that.
I don't think I can. Through the-
All right, can you read that out? Can you read that for the record?
House 525 square feet, sleeps 4, bedroom 1, bath 1, minimum stay 2 nights.
Okay. All right, I'm going to now allow the property owner to present their case. I heard you say earlier that you didn't know this was illegal. So are you going to challenge that statement? Or are you conceding that it was illegal, you just didn't know about it? What is your position?
We didn't know it was illegal.
Okay. All right, so in response, okay, so go ahead. I want to give you an opportunity to respond.
When we found out about it, we called the RBO and asked them to delist us immediately because of the situation that, you know, that was going on. And that was it. Then, you know, like, we have tried, you know, and we called and we do the search, we find the same, what you find, we find it true. We call again, we tell them, you know, we don't know what else to do. The only remedy that I find is at some point filing the act of the right to be forgotten. There is an act that you do for internet companies when they do not remove your record. It's the only thing I am thinking about, but the thing is, you call, you ask them, remove me, and it continues. But if you go into BRBO and try to make a reservation, you cannot do it because it is dislisted.
It has been
Okay.
dislisted, it has been dislisted for a while. And not just that, since the moment that Officer St. Louis came in, I even suggest to attempt to make a reservation. She said she denied that portion because that's why she suggested for us to appeal, and that's why we are appealing, because that was listed long time ago. That yes, it is there because it's still, if you do a research, I just did it on my phone and it still shows the property. You cannot make a reservation, but it's still listed. I again, like Heiner said, we're planning to do a forgiven what?
The right to be forgotten, and that is the only thing. It's the only thing that I can think of right now, and that would be a legal filing on our part. And of course, you know, the city has an attorney, you know, to represent you, but we don't have an attorney to represent us. And for us to do this, we're going to have to get a lawyer to get involved with
VRBO.
whatever VRBO Expedia, for them to remove us. But right now, I mean, as you know, we are in the middle of a pandemic. We've been slapped with, you know, with a fine of $100 that we're not even making any money, and we just need that. We just need to be able to get this case, you know, but that has to involve a legal counsel for us to go with the internet and do that right to be forgotten.
Well,
It's
but
the only thing.
did you originally put the advertising on that website, or did somebody else do it?
No, we did it.
We did it in a VRBO, but not in Expedia. Expedia, it's something
It's part
else.
of actually, as far as I know, if you list it on VRBO, it's listed on Experian as well.
It's automatic.
So it's automatically. So that's what we're trying to figure out on how to remove it. Again, we've been trying for a while, and when Officer St. Louis came in, again, and let me reinstate this. When she came in, I suggest to try to look and book at that particular moment, but she refused, and that's when she suggested for us to appeal because she refused to take any information or hear anything that we needed to say.
She also told us that she was only following somebody else's orders and that was not her decision to write these tickets. So we were very confused because we have seen her many times out there sitting in front of the house
For hours.
For a long time. The family members of ours have come to the house and said there is a car of the city of North Miami sitting out there. I don't know why this is happening. Believe us, it is not, we've been residents of this, here for 10 years. When have we ever broken the law? When has the police have been called here or anything like that? But, we, as responsible citizens, we don't understand why somebody in the city is also there.
All right, let me tell you what I think should happen. First of all, I understand that you've been acting in good faith, and I understand that you have no intention of using this link or any other link for purposes of advertising for short-term rentals. Now you know that is illegal. It's illegal to advertise. It's illegal to engage in short-term rentals as defined in the statute. And I know that the city knows that you have tried very hard to get that link removed. And as far as the city is concerned, you've done everything you can to eliminate that advertisement. Nonetheless, there has been a violation. The city has proven that there is a violation. It is a small fine of $100. I understand that you are in financial distress, and I realize that, and perhaps you can make arrangements with the city to pay that over the course of a few months if you don't have the ability to pay it. But I have to find, as a matter of law, that the city has proven its violation. So I'm going to let you speak, but as a matter of law, and I'm only here to interpret the law, apply the law to the facts of the case, and the facts as presented show that you did engage in illegal advertising or advertising for short-term rental. I find that happened. Now, if you want to comment on what I just said, please do. But I'm not going to change my mind on my ruling. I rule in favor of the city.
Okay. Thank you, Your Majesty. I do want to emphasize, since we have to pay this $100 fine, and based on the fact that the city, we have been residents of North Miami for the past 10 years. The city has charged for both houses, for the main house and the guest house, double garbage, sewer, and water for 9 years straight. So I think that we can get to some terms based on the fact that you guys owe us all this amount of money. We can make some sort of arrangement that from the money that the city owes us, deduct us $100.
I cannot make that decision here. I am not authorized to engage in those kinds of discussions, but I'm sure that there's somebody at the city, either the finance department or the utility department, that you can talk to and work, or the city manager, and discuss that with them. But for purposes of today's hearing, I found you in violation of the code, and I've imposed a $100 fine. What happened after that is not within my jurisdiction. So
not a problem.
Thank you, everybody. This hearing is over. If you need to have any further conversations, you need to have a conversation with the city manager or their staff.
Cool. Perfect.
I don't have jurisdiction over.
Not a problem. Could you please email me or send by certified mail minutes of this hearing so I can talk to every single management director at the North Miami City Hall?
Okay, that I believe is on the city's website. Once this is transcribed,
Yes,
staff.
Yeah, sir, you can do a public record request via our city website. All of the information is available there for you.
Yeah, but do I have to pay for this?
No, this is all in the city's website. You gotta
Perfect.
wait a couple of weeks perhaps, but it'll be posted under the special magistrate link in the website.
I have
And
another,
what is the-
I have another question, sorry, and this is very important, and this cannot be unanswered. Now we know that there is an issue, you agree there is an issue, I agree there is an issue. We have not been able to resolve this. What stops Ms. Edme St. Louis from coming here and continuing issuing tickets when there is something that we cannot do anything because she is not reasonable enough to understand the situation here? And I understand you as a magistrate, you're giving your final word on this, and you find that we are in violation, even in this an involuntary violation. What is going to stop her from coming here and harass us?
Let me make a suggestion, and nobody's harassing, sir. People are doing their jobs. A complaint was made. The code officer followed up on the complaint and issued a violation, which I have affirmed. I think what you need to do now is write a letter to this website and explain what just happened to you, and that you are not giving them any authority to engage in any kind of advertising on your behalf. Send that letter certified and keep it. And if this comes up again and you show me that letter, I'm not going to hold you responsible because you've done everything you can to protect yourself from whatever the company is doing without your permission.
Your Honor,
So
Yes, wait, one second. Yes.
he also mentioned that if it's posted on VRBO, it's also posted on Expedia. On VRBO, when I check on April 10th as of the final reinspection date, I have pictures as well to showing that the listing was not there, it was removed. I was unable to see it. However, he would also need to contact Expedia.
Yes,
to get that
you need to call, you need to do the same with Expedia to make sure that they remove it as well.
So,
And if you keep copies of those letters, you're gonna be protected.
so on that note, if I show that we have attempted to do this before, will this be waived then?
Yes, because we tried.
Because we have tried everything in our power.
And
No, sir, I'm not changing my ruling, and I think I've given you already enough information, enough time, and enough due process that we need to move on. We have a lot of other people waiting. You know, I've already ruled. Now, to protect yourself from any further problems, you need to write those letters to Expedia, and that way, if something else pops up in the future, you will be protected. You've taken away the authority for them to advertise on your behalf.
So let's just be on record that we do have those letters, those emails, but it has been, please let this be on record that it had not been allowed us to present this on this hearing. We really thank you for your time, and we will be followed through.
we deem this hearing unreasonable. Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye.
The next case on the agenda is Irvin Moretz, case number CTRCV 2020-00009. The property address is 2365 Arch Creek Drive. The officer is Aaron Barber, and on record, this customer is not signed in to appear this morning on Zoom or on the second floor of City Hall.
So it sounds like that there was an appeal, sir. However, the appellant has not made themselves available for the appeal.
All right. So is the city attorney requesting a dismissal of the appeal?
I couldn't hear the second part of what Director Crystal Cordo said. If you could repeat that, please.
The appellant did not show up for the appeal today.
Okay, yes, at this time, the city is requesting a dismissal of the appeal.
All right. Appeal dismissed.
The next case on the agenda is Village 135 LLC, case number CTMIS 2021-00015. The property is 13490 Northwest 7th Avenue. Edme St. Louis is the officer.
Do I have anyone here on behalf of this property today? If I do, please raise your hand.
There is a witness on in City Hall on the second floor, but not.
Okay, we don't have the appellant here today for this case either, Special Magistrate. It doesn't appear that anyone or that the appellant showed up for the hearing today.
All right, I'll entertain a motion.
At this time, the city would move the court to dismiss the appeal.
So granted, appeal is dismissed.
We're moving into our notice of violation cases. The first two cases are for the same customer, Dorset House Association, Inc. Case number CEGMP 2019-00142 and case number CESCN 2019-00003. The property address is 2500 Northeast 135th Street. Shanna Sanders is the officer on both cases.
All right, the first case deals with the exposed rebar, etc. Anybody here on behalf of the owner?
Yes, we have the attorney, Tara Mulry, present. Tara, is there anybody else here?
Good morning, Your Honor. Yes, we also have Melissa Gupe, I'm sorry if I said that wrong, Hanny Levy, and Tanya Homeland. Melissa is the office manager of the contractor that's been hired for the project. Hanny Levy is the property manager for the association, and Tanya Homeland is the engineer that's working on this property.
Okay, if those parties would enable their video and audio to be sworn in. Looks like I'm missing Hanny Levy.
Could you please raise your right hand to be sworn in?
Yes.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in these proceedings shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Please say I do.
I do.
Thank you.
All right, I remember this case from the last hearing.
Yes.
I just need to hear from the city as to what the status is and what their recommendation is. So let me hear from Ms. Sanders.
Shanna Sanders, City of North Miami Code Compliance Officer. As of last week, Thursday, the violation still remains. Our stance is for adjudication. This case has been open since November 2019. Many years now we've been hearing that they are waiting for assessments. They're having meetings. They are collecting monies. But again, as of last week, the violation still remains.
Also, Special Magistrate.
Yes, ma'am.
Crystal Patterson, Interim Code Director. I'd like to also further add that I personally am receiving phone calls from the owners inside of the unit who are extremely frustrated at the time that the city has taken to make a ruling on this case. So I just wanted to make sure I enter that on record on behalf of the condo owners.
Okay. Anything else from the city?
No, I'll let
Why don't you post the pictures of the violation, the exposed rebar?
Did we call both cases into the record?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, it's okay. So we're going to hear both records on both cases simultaneously. All right. All right. Show me the all of the violations. Just to refresh my memory. Indicate what each photograph depicts.
This looks to be the area around the carport in the garage.
I'm sorry, Special Magistrate, you're breaking up.
All right, I asked the code officer to indicate for the record what each photograph depicts.
And I was more so stating that this appears to be in the garage area. As you see, exposed rebar on the top roof area. This again is garage area in the rear, exposed rebar. This is along the front of the building.
There's somebody talking in the background. Can you mute, please?
This is in the front of the building along 135th Street, top balcony, penthouse floor, exposed rebar. This is in the rear of the property, along the waterways. It's still 135th Street, but it's along the waterways. Again, exposed rebar.
Those photographs are dated October 8th of 2020. Okay, you got a recent one there, February 4th. Well, show me the most recent photographs that you took.
So this is in succession of the case being built, sir. So as I
Okay,
go through,
gotcha.
you'll see all the pictures.
And it looks to be the same as it looked, from October up until last week. Same.
Okay, no change.
No change.
Get this, your April pictures, sir.
Okay.
And again, it's exposed rebar, front of the building, same areas. The property is in the same condition as it was.
I'm sorry, are you all able to hear me? Because
All right, yeah, speak up, officer, so everybody can hear you.
More so stating from the time that the violation was open, it's in the same condition as it was when I last inspected last week.
All right, do you have sufficient training to determine whether this is a life safety issue?
No, I wouldn't say that no, I don't. I would say just looking at it, all I see is exposed rebar. I wouldn't know if it's a safety hazard or not.
Okay. All right, keep going.
Special magistrate, I would say that one would, and I'm not the building official, we could request that the building officials come by as the attorney or those on behalf of the rest of the house move with their testimony, but I would certainly move to suggest that this is a concern. If I lived in that location, I would be concerned.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely it's a concern. I mean,
okay.
It's a concern. I just don't want to give testimony saying that it's a.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I'm concerned in the sense that if it is a life safety issue, then we're dealing with a different standard than if it isn't. So we need to, obviously it's a violation. The question is, how serious a violation is and how quickly we need to remedy the violation.
So if it's okay, I'm going to step out and see if I can get the building official.
Okay, if he's around, if not, we can proceed without him, but it's.
If
One second.
I have several.
All right, no interruptions, please. We're gonna take a minute just to see if the building official is around. Okay, are we done with that particular violation? Do you want to move on to the next one?
The next one is more for the screens.
Okay.
There was at the time of initial inspection, 12 units that were missing screens along the balconies areas. Again, that was brought in as a complaint or concern. As of last week, Thursday, when I re-inspected the property, there were about 4 or 5 screens that remained missing. The majority of them were replaced, but again, there were about 4 or 5 that still remained missing.
Okay, and you have pictures showing that?
Yes.
I should need an opinion from you regarding exposed rebar and whether exposed rebar would be a life safety matter or a hazard. I'm gonna put you on. He's in the field at the moment, magistrate, but would you be willing to hear the audio?
As long as everybody hears it.
Okay. I'm gonna put you on, Steve, so that you can give testimony.
Your Honor, or Special Magistrate, I'm
Yes.
not able to see this person. He hasn't been sworn in. I would object to the testimony he's about to give. I do have an engineer on our behalf who is certified and able to give testimony as to the soundness of the building and the emergency need to have it repaired and that type of information. So since this person isn't able to be seen, he hasn't been sworn in, I would object to his testimony for the record.
The city would move to swear in the building official?
Yeah, the legal issue that is being raised is that the council is not able to see him. So maybe we can put him on camera on rebuttal after their engineer testifies, and the city official can then respond to the testimony of their engineer.
I'm gonna send you a link, and I'm gonna
Okay, so let's finish with the second violation, the balconies.
Well, just come to the third floor if you can. I'm on the third floor. City attorney's conference room. Thank you. He's gonna just come in.
All right.
As already stated, the second violation in reference to the screens at the initial inspection when the violation was first opened back in November 2019, there were about 12 units that were missing screens. Upon my last inspection last week, Thursday, on the 8th, there were about 4 or 5 units that were still missing screens.
Okay. Anything else?
No.
Okay.
That's my testimony on that one.
This matter has now been tabled several times.
Yes.
I remember it. Yeah, hang on. It's been tabled several times. So you need to, show a compelling reason why I will not fine you, having had plenty of opportunity to get your special assessments, hire your engineers, even make some minimal corrections. So it's disturbing that here we are and we're seeing the same violations that we saw months ago. So let me turn it over to counsel, Ms. Mulray. Please, tell us where we are in the process.
We have the signed and sealed documents, the engineering documents to have the permits issued. They should be issued by the end of the week. We have, at last hearing, we had actually already levied the special assessment, obtained the loan. At each stage, we have significantly progressed, and we are continuing to progress. The association has the engineer. They've already done their specifications. They've already prepared the documents. We got several bids and obtained a contractor on the property. I do have the contractor on the line now. Work is to begin as soon as the permits are issued. Some emergency repairs have already been started. And at this point, we're just asking that the city not fine the association because they are making several attempts to try and come under compliance. I think I explained to Special Magistrate last hearing that they were in such a rush to do this the first time just to try and get it done. They ended up getting in with a contractor who wasn't licensed and able to do certain things. So that involved heavy litigation that was settled the day before last hearing. So with all that going on, the pandemic and everything else, the association has still been able to get all of these plans, get the bids, get the special assessment, get the contractor. We're ready for the permits and we're ready to begin work. Absent a hurricane or natural disaster, we are expecting 8 months to have everything complete. This is a multi-million-dollar project. It is a multi-story building. It is concrete restoration along with a 40-year certification. It involves plumbing, electrical, concrete, paint, you name it, it's in this project. And we are ready to go. I believe the contract was finalized and signed yesterday, and I received a copy of the signed and sealed engineering documents to have the permits applied for and hopefully issued expediently. I did update Ms. Sanders yesterday. It was, unfortunately it was the day before the hearing, but I did try and update her on the status. Regarding the screens, there were several missing. Now, as she stated, there's only 4 to 5, and that's because those frames are no longer in production. So that we did have to find a warehouse in order to get the screen frame in order to do that, and we expect those to be received from the warehouse and put in place by the end of the month. It's no structural defect on the railing. It's more just the part above the railing, which just houses the screen. Everyone that's been able to be replaced immediately has been replaced immediately. Unfortunately, my client had to be a little more cautious this second time around because it did have several, the pending litigation from the prior contract, which did set them back about a year in being able to get this done, did have to be resolved. At the last hearing, special magistrate requested that, not to take months to get bids. We didn't. We got the bids and had the meeting and hired a contractor as soon as possible. You wanted to see sufficient steps, and I can tell you my client has tried to push this, via Zoom, via other means to get memberships involved as soon as possible. And we're just requesting that I understand that the residents are concerned, so is the association, but fining the association isn't going to help the residents because that money that's going to be used to pay the fines is allocated towards this restoration project. So you'd be penalizing the association, in turn penalizing the residents. That's really all I can say towards this. The city has been out on several occasions. It has not been red tagged. Anything that has been an emergency, we've gone ahead and taken care of as an emergency, just for the life safety. It doesn't look pretty right now, but that's what we're trying to resolve as quickly as possible.
What emergencies have you addressed?
There was an issue with one of the pipes, which has been taken care of in the city. Some of the issues in the parking garage have been cured. Just some of the cracks or other things that could have posed a potential harm have already been cured.
You mentioned the 40-year recertification. What's the status of that?
That's all part of this. So as soon as we can get started on correcting the issues, this is all one big project.
And the bid that has been awarded to a licensed contractor that has within the scope of work everything that the city has required your building to do.
Yes, and I have the office manager who has all of the paperwork regarding the contract in the scope of work on here if you would like to hear from her regarding that. But yes, we have confirmed with the contract. It includes what the city is requiring and more.
Let me hear from the contractor. I want to know what the scope of the work is.
Thank you. My name is Melissa Goupay, and I am the office/operations manager for South Coast Restoration and Painting. We are the contractor that has been hired by the Dorset House. We have actually a fairly complex contract with them based on specifications and information that were given to us by their engineer, which does incorporate all of the repairs plus a significant amount more that the city is looking at. All the popping rebar, concrete restoration, loose stucco. It talks about 40-year inspection, checking all railings, painting. It is a very extensive contract. And we are a licensed general contractor.
Who's the engineer?
Tanya.
Homelide. Annie, if you could give Tanya a call. I don't see her on the Zoom.
Yeah, I text her. Give me just a second, okay?
She was on the Zoom just a moment ago. I think she got on and then got kicked off, but she was on just a second ago.
I don't need to hear from her. You got her? I just want to know who the engineer is.
It's Tanya Homelide, Homleid.
Okay. All right. So you're showing me the bid documents? You're moving.
Melissa,
Can't hear you.
I'm sorry. Yes, this is about a 5-inch binder of the bid documents, the engineering documents we received this morning, the signed, sealed, electronic sealed engineering drawings, the package for the permitting will be finished today and submitted to the city tomorrow or Monday. I'm not sure if your city building department is open on Fridays. A lot of them are closed now, and it will be submitted. And we have the entire package for the city, and like I said, including the contract and the signed sealed drawings in order to do all the repairs.
Is the
Tanya
city
is
building
unable to
office
connect.
open on Friday?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. The office is open on Friday.
Okay.
So these are final permitting drawings?
Yes.
All right. Have you been paid?
Have I been paid? My deposit check is being prepared today.
It's amazing how things move when you have to go in front of a special magistrate.
Well, I have to tell you that this is a very large contract, and it is a very large scope of work. So it has been, and we do understand that this building has had some issues with some construction companies in the past. So it's taken some time to work with them. They've talked to previous companies and buildings that we've worked for so that we, that they're comfortable with us and we're comfortable working with them. We're going to get this taken care of for them.
How quickly can you fix the rebar issue?
There are significant rebars throughout the building. We do need to use swing stage for the building. It's not just a simple patch. It does require a significant amount of work in order to do this. The entire project, start to finish, like Tara had said earlier, is going to approximately take us about 8 months. I don't want to tell you that I'm going to fix the rebar in a month because I'm going to go around the building and I'm going to do it systematically. If we jump all around, we'll miss things and things will not last. So we will fix things that are immediate if we feel or the engineer feels that it's a life safety. But to our knowledge, we don't have any of those right now. We haven't seen any of those.
But is there a methodology that would allow you to do the construction in such phases as the rebar is like phase 1, phase 2, and earlier fixed, and perhaps painting or some other minor cosmetic work?
So how it works commonly in a building like this is that we'll set up a swing stage or two because of the size of this building. We can't put up too many swing stages. We'll put up a swing stage or two, and we will the engineer will go mark that side of the building or the width of that swing stage, obviously as much space as we can do. Mark the specific repairs that need to be done, because there are repairs that are not visible that do need to be done, because we're able to determine what may pop, not just what is popped. So it's called sounding the building. The engineer will sound the side of the building, determine what needs to be repaired. We'll break the concrete off or the stucco off that's damaged, repair that stucco, and then we'll move that stage. We'll bring another stage behind it to do the cosmetic work. So it's done in a process around the building with as many stages and as quickly as we can.
All right. Are we going to wait for Steve or?
I mean, magistrate, it's up to you. He did.
All right, let's do this. I'm going to give you a reasonable amount of time for the final time. I'm not going to keep this going on for another 8 or 9 or 10 months. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I am going to issue a violation, issue a fine because of the many continuances that we've had, but I'm going to give you the ability to get rid of that fine, provided that you do certain things timely. And we just the building official just walked in, and I want him to weigh in on the issue of whether or not he considers these rebar matters to be of a life safety nature. And then the next issue that I want you to address with the building official is how quickly we can get these repairs done. Mr. Building Official, please state your, first of all, have you been sworn?
No, I have not.
Okay, I'm gonna ask, is the city attorney,
The person
I can swear him.
okay, yeah, but I want the city attorney to, having heard what just went on, to qualify him as an expert and perhaps ask him the relevant questions. I don't want to be the one asking the questions.
I'll swear him in. Do solemnly swear and affirm that the testimony you're about to give in these proceedings shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Attorney, would you like to qualify the witness?
Yes, Special Magistrate. Good morning. Will you please introduce yourselves?
My name is Steve Pizzola. I'm the building official for the city of North Miami.
How long have you been the building official for the city of North Miami?
Over 6 years.
What are your responsibilities as a building official?
I'm the authority having jurisdiction over any construction, housing stock, permitting, life health safety issues.
And prior to being the building official at the city of North Miami, where did you work?
City of Parkland.
And what were your responsibilities at the city of Parkland?
There's also the building official there, so same responsibilities.
How long were you the building official at the city of Parkland?
Years.
Excuse me?
5 years.
5 years. Okay. And were you the building official with any other city prior to Parkland?
No, not prior to Parkland.
Okay. Can you please explain to the special magistrate a bit about your educational background?
I have 30 years of construction experience in the state of Florida. I've been in inspection fields for about 22 years now. I'm licensed by the state of Florida as a certified building official.
I find them qualified.
Okay.
I have no objection.
Okay. Just get it.
I'm gonna go ahead and share the photos.
Yeah, address the issues regarding the rebar that we discussed before, and I'd like the building official to take a look at that and give me an opinion as to whether or not he believes those matters that that are depicted on the photographs represent a life safety issue as defined in the building code.
Go back. Can you go back, Crystal?
There's,
I mean, for example, right there where you have exposed rebar, the rebar is expanding out, but you also have cracks going down from what I see, which potentially could lead to a piece of concrete falling and hitting somebody.
But it's not, oh my God.
quiet, please. All right, show that.
Similar circumstances there. You know, you have the potential of more concrete becoming distressed. That's similar to a case in New York about 6-7 months ago where a piece of concrete fell off the fascia on a mid-rise building and hit somebody in the head and killed them. Yeah, that all needs to be repaired under the guidance of a structural engineer, and when they do that, safety precautions are going to be taken to make sure that nobody is put in harm's way while it's going on. The problem is that because it's exposed, we call cancer of the rebar, that it can still start spread. It can start spreading laterally into the areas that are still covered by concrete.
All right, they're all pretty much the same. The property owner condo association has retained an engineer. The engineer has drafted building plans. There has been an award to a contractor. The contract is about to be signed, and they want to come in tomorrow to bring in plans so that they can start the work. And somebody asked whether your office is open tomorrow so that they can bring the paperwork in.
We open at 7:30.
Okay. Melissa, are you ready to start?
We are absolutely ready to start. Although obviously we can't start until the building department finalizes and approves our permit, but we will submit the signed steel drawings and the permit application tomorrow to the city. We will make that happen. And if the building official can give us an idea of how long that normally takes in his city, that would be helpful for us. And like the building official indicated, yes, there are beyond that exposed rebar, there is cancerous rebar beyond that. That's part of the reason that I indicated to you that when we do the work, we hang a swing stage and we work progressively around the building to make sure that we get everything. And we do, part of the engineer's specifications do call for, chipping out additional concrete, making sure that we have a safety plan, chipping out that additional concrete until we get to, some decent rebar and it's treated, and there's, specific specifications in order to make sure that, it's taken care of properly.
And excuse me, Melissa, you're engineer of record or with the engineering group?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that. Oh.
Are you the engineer or with the engineering group? I don't know.
I am the engineer of record.
She's the contractor.
Oh, you're the contractor. Okay, because as long as you got the contractor and the engineer of record and we get this and you fill out the special inspector form and give me all that, you can request an early start so you can start staging and get prepared, and we can have the permit finalized within 7 days, but you at least be able to mobilize and start doing some of the work.
That'd be great.
But can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
You're the engineer?
Yes, I'm the engineer of record. Tanya Homelight, Optimus Structure.
All right. What is it that you want to say?
Special Magistrate, you had inquired as to the soundness and the emergencies, and the building inspector has said that the structural engineer needed to be a part of the safety concerns. We do have the property manager and the maintenance staff doing daily walks around the area just to make sure that there isn't any falling concrete or any of those types of issues. But we also have the engineer who's overseeing all of these steps that are being taken. So I didn't know if Special Magistrate needed to inquire further with Tanya just to see if there's any additional questions in addition to the building inspector's testimony.
No. Is there anything else with the city? Mr. Building Official, you're free to go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Magistrate, I would just want to enter into the record that the property has never been adjudicated.
Okay.
So as a part of your ruling.
I intend to do that. And what I'm going to do, Ms. Mulray, if I'm pronouncing your last name correctly.
Thank you.
I am going to adjudicate in favor of the city in terms of finding that the violations exist. I am going to give you a period of time in order for you to substantially, not just cosmetically, but substantially address the issues of the rebar. We don't have to get everything done within 3 months, but I want everybody to work towards resolving the rebar issue as quickly as possible, and I'm going to give you 90 days to do that. The rest of the project, the screens, the paint, whatever else you need to do for your 40-year recertification, I'm going to give you more time. But on the rebar issues, on that particular violation, I'm going to give you 90 days to address those, and hopefully you'll get it done sooner. But after that 90-day period, fines will start accruing. And I understand that at the end of the day, it's going to be the residents paying, but the residents have to own up to the fact that they've allowed their building to deteriorate to such an extent that it's creating a big problem for themselves and also the public. So based on the testimony of the city's compliance officer, the testimony of the building official, the photographs and the evidence presented depicting that the violations exist until today, and that proper notice has been given, I find in favor of the city, enter an adjudication, and set a compliance date of 90 days from the date of this hearing. In the event of non-compliance, there will be a daily fine of $500 until the violations are abated. So if
Special
if the
Magistrate,
rebar-
can I?
yeah, let me finish. If before the 90 days you are having problems, legitimate problems, either with the city or with the contractors or in staging or technical complications come up, I can extend the 90 days. But right now, I am imposing a daily fine of $500 after 90 days. If there's a problem that you, for whatever reason, you can't deal with that timeline, then come back and we'll talk about it. We'll see where we are. But I do find you in violation, and I'm going to give you that 90-day period within which to make at least substantial progress. So that's my ruling. Melissa, you have a question?
I'm sorry, if I may, Special Magistrate, do you issue a formal ruling?
There will
paper
be
typed up rule?
Yes.
Pilar,
Yes.
there will be an order entered. I will sign it within the next couple of days.
Okay.
It will not. Is it recorded or not recorded? It is not recorded. It will not be a lien. It's an order essentially telling you that you've got 90 days to comply, or fines will start accruing.
If I may request that order,
Yes.
could you please specify that the 90 days is only for the exposed rebar, and particularize it, just so if 90 days comes up and let's say you're not the special magistrate at that hearing, we are clear on the issue that we are 90 days for the rebar to leave the cosmetics towards the end.
What is this?
Your calendar is there before you?
My calendar is before me.
Your calendar, because her concern is you hear.
Yeah, no, I will hear it. It'll come back to me. So the hearing that I would say we're in April. August 19th is when I'm sitting. So you need to comply, or you need to comply by August 12th in order to make my August 19th calendar. Okay, so
Understood.
The abatement date is August 12th.
Understood. Melissa, do you have some additional questions?
I was able to, I wanted to get with the gentleman that helps with the staging to determine if, because of the extreme variation of locations of where the rebar is, if it was possible for us to be able to move the stages and to be able to make that happen. We're going to have to discuss that with Tara and with the board. It's possible. It's going to potentially create a financial hardship for the community, but we are going to see what we can do with regards to that. It is moving the stages around in order to get all of these small areas and not take care of the full picture. Again, I'm not worried about cosmetics. There are a significant amount of other things that are wrong as well that we're addressing along the way. The painting and the cosmetics are the minimal.
I understand, and I've also given you a little bit of extra time by scheduling it on August the 12th.
Perfect.
So, and the city is happy to work with you, and if you have an owner's rep or whatever the city allows, you can have that individual also certify that there are no life safety issues involved as we move along to get this to the end.
Wonderful.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. You'll get a copy of the order probably within the next week, and it will specify that it will come back to me. And primary issue is the rebar, which is violation number, the first violation. The screens, we can deal with that later.
Thank you, everyone, for your time. I appreciate it.
We're going to do the screens also. Okay, that's the
Same
second.
ruling?
Yeah, same ruling as to the screens.
So
But
is
more
that within,
importantly, more importantly, I'm more interested in getting the rebar issue resolved.
so we have been adjudicated on the screens as well?
Yes. Same ruling.
Is it still the 90 days?
Yeah, well, it's more than 90 days now.
Okay.
It's more like 120 days that you're getting. All right, thank you.
Thank
We'll
you.
move on to the next case.
The next two cases on the agenda are for Dugas Apartments 2 LLC. The case number CEMHS 2021-00001 and CEMHS 2021-00002. Both cases were previously adjudicated with an abatement date of April the 8th. The fine set for both cases was $1,000. The property address is 1885 Northeast 121 Street, and Vanessa Willis is the officer on both cases.
I have an Andrea Andrada here on behalf of the property. Andrea, if you would please enable your video and audio so that we may swear you in. All right, state your name and affiliation to the property for the record.
Good morning. My name is Andrea Andrada. I am the property manager of this unit.
And Ms. Williams?
Can you please raise your right hand so I can swear you in? Do you solemnly swear and affirm that the testimony you're about to give in these proceedings shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Please say I do.
I do.
Sadie, you want to proceed?
You didn't get sworn in? No. Can you swear her for? I'm sorry.
Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you're about to give in these proceedings shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
What's
Okay,
the name?
so-
What's the name again? The name of the
Vanessa.
case.
Oh, Douglas
Douglas.
Apartment. Okay, so on case CEMHS 2021-00001, the pipes of the water heater and coils of the air filter upon the reinspection date were not in compliance. There was no work that had been done inside the unit, so they were not in compliance. The next case, CEMHS 2021-00002, was for the windows that were non-functioning. They were unable to open and close without defect and replace the missing window screens for all windows. That was not done either. So no work has been done. They're not in compliance.
Magistrate, I want to add to the record, this case was initially opened by a former officer, Karen Jean Lewis. She has since resigned her position with the city, and Officer Vanessa Willis, because the case had already been previously adjudicated, is following up on the reinspection and presenting on behalf of this case today. I can put into the record the photos and the notes that we had for your references. I believe that we had a tenant that made contact with the city with respect to maintenance inside of her unit. There was a smell, there was mold, there was various issues. I believe the tenant did give testimony on last hearing. I'm not certain if you ruled, or you were.
No, that was because
Okay. The tenant did make an appearance for the record and gave testimony that the property owners who did not appear on the last meeting had not been responsive to her requests, and at that point she had no other choice but to call the city
this
for
this
help.
was unit 17
Yes, sir. I'm going to share
on both on both
yes,
violations.
yes.
Okay.
I'm going to share the photos for the record.
I've reviewed the photos.
Oh, you did?
They're online.
Okay.
Who's being cited? The unit owner or the apartment building?
The complex.
The complex. And Ms. Andrada, are you here representing the property owner?
Yes, correct. Special Magistrate, good morning.
Good morning. Now, I've already reviewed the file. I've listened to the city present. You've been previously adjudicated. A fine was issued with a compliance date of April the 8th. The only thing I'm going to hear from you is whether or not you're in compliance. If you're not in compliance, those fines will run. I'm not going to do what the prior magistrate did.
Okay. First of all, I want to share something with you. This notice is wrong owner. It's not Douglas Apartment LLC. It is De La Carol LLC. So first of all, the owner is wrong. Unfortunately, I can represent both owners because both are client of mine, but the address is correct and the owner's name is wrong. Douglas Apartment is the owner of 1855 Northeast 121 Street, apartment 17. And we are talking about 1885 Northeast 121 Street, apartment 17. So it's the same unit, different building.
What is the name of the owner as you represent?
I can represent both owners anyways because unfortunately we represent units in both buildings. So we are okay with that. But the problem was we never received the violation.
What's the name of the owner?
De La Carol LLC.
Spell that.
DELACAROL LLC.
Okay. All right. I'm going to let you finish, and then I'm going to ask the city to comment on what you just said.
Yeah, we spoke about this with Mrs. Vanessa Willis because this was an issue with the tenants since she was moving on December 24. She refused to use the air condition because it was on 76 grade and it was cold outside. So she refused to use it. I explained to her and I'm giving her with the list as an addendum a small disclosure with recommendation how she has to do it and how we maintain the unit. So the unit was fresh paint, was clean, was everything in condition as normal, and she refused to use it, the air condition. So if you don't use the air condition for 3 months in Miami, it's probably getting worse. So this is the situation. We received this notification because we just called the code compliance because in one communication that we have by phone, she suggests that we have a violation on the city. So I live and I work with this city for 15 years now. So I call code compliance and I asked specifically for this address. So that's why we find out that we have 2 violations. I spoke with Vanessa Williams. We emailed Louis Inspector, which is, I don't know who is, and we don't have any reply for them. So Vanessa Willis take care of that. And finally, we get a response on April 6th. So this history started to us on March 25, trying to find any response for an inspector until April 6th. From April 6th that we find out what it was going on and what it was for, we start working on all the things that was in violation. We already sent the technician of the AC to clean the coil. It's done. We changed the water heater too, so it's done too. We use the tenant report as a first things because she provides a copy to us last week. So with that report, we start working on the unit, and we set an appointment today to have a final report about regarding the mold that she said she has. I was there personally. I don't smell anything wrong in the unit at all. And then about the window, we was working this week on that. The windows as existing window from 1973. That is a small glass there. And we are trying to see how to work properly with that, change it, put something on it. And we send to do the custom-made screening because, again, the windows are original and we don't find the size of that screen. We have to do it custom-made. So all is being done. That's why in a short time, the period of time that we have, we request on Friday an extension for this, and it was denied. But the initial problem was we was never notified.
Is the tenant still residing in apartment 17?
She resigned and she told me that she's planning to move out and she asked for a termination of lease. And we're gonna grant it because unfortunately it's not an easy, tenant that you can, work with it. And it's not my intention to keep her as a 1-year tenant when you don't know if they are using properly the AC and they understand that we are in Miami, we have to have the AC on, at least automatically.
Okay.
If you see the report,
ma'am, there's nothing in the violation that talks about mold. The violation talks about a bad smell. Are you saying that the smell is caused by the mold?
No, there's no bad. It's nothing with odor. I was in the unit and everything is clean. Anyways, we send the technician to wash the coil of the AC. So that will be much better, but there's no odor to anything. I told her last week, but everything looks fine. You don't have a mold odor or humidity odor, nothing. And the AC was automatically on right now. And I say, okay, finally you start to using the AC. You can.
All right, thank you. I've heard enough.
Okay.
I need you to respond to the allegation that the wrong owner was cited. We have the right party. And number two, if they've gone out and they've eliminated the odor, then
Yes.
are they in compliance? No, ma'am, please. I'm asking the city. Three, if you need to go back and take another look at it, I would rather that you bring this case back to Special Magistrate Gazal, who imposed the original violation, the original fine. How do you respond?
Special Magistrate, at this time, we would request to table it for 30 days. We would also request that Ms. Andrea Andrada coordinate a time with the city for us to come out and conduct a complete inspection of that unit and the entire property.
All right, Ms. Andrada, the city would like to go back and take another look at the property, not just the apartment, but the whole building, to make sure that things are in good shape and that there are no violations. If there are no violations, then you're home free. If there are violations, they will come back to Magistrate Gazal, who imposed the original $1,000 a day fine. It's a serious issue, so you need to work with the city to make sure that it's been corrected.
Okay. If we was notified on April 6th, why I don't have any extension to work on it? It's only 1 week.
We are giving you an extension. We're saying to you that I'm not going to issue any fines today.
Okay.
We're going to ask you to allow the city to go back and do an inspection to make sure that everything has been corrected.
Okay.
And you can do that. We can do that next week, or we can do that the week after, but you need to cooperate to make sure that the city is satisfied that all of the corrections have been made.
I am agree with that. That's not a problem.
Right. So you need to, who's going to contact who?
I have, Andrea, I have your contact via email. I'll reach out to you to coordinate a time where we'll be there to do the inspection.
Not a problem at all.
Okay. All right, you're good to go today, and try to get this thing resolved as soon as you can. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so
All right,
much.
next
Have a good
case.
day.
The next case on the agenda is Maria Sanchez, case number CESSP 2020-00010. The property address is 2050 Canal Drive. The officer is Shanna Sanders.
All right, Ms. Sanders.
Shannon Sanders, City of North Miami, co-compliance officer.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to swear the respondent in. What was the name? Maria?
Maria.
Maria Sanchez, are you there?
There. Do I have anyone here on behalf of this property? If so, please click the raise hand feature to be acknowledged. The name was there a minute or two ago. Looks like she might have dropped. Was she registered?
Yes.
Okay. Is the next person registered? Maybe she
Yes.
has to sign back in. All right, let's call the next case. Give her a minute to sign back in. It looks like she dropped.
If we can, I apologize. For this case, I'm gonna go ahead and close this case. This is the case, I re-inspected the property yesterday. It was, for property address 2050 Canal Drive, for storm shutters that were opened. After speaking with the property owner and speaking with our interim director, I re-inspected the property yesterday and violation has been abated. We're gonna go ahead and
Excellent.
close this.
All right, so we'll close Maria Sanchez. Maybe that's why she dropped.
The next four cases on the agenda are from Mazal Investments 31 LLC, case number CEMHE 2020-00007, CEMHS 2020-00025, case CEMHS 2020-00023, and case CEWWC 2020-00050. The property address is 14225 Northeast 6th Avenue. Edby St. Louis is the officer on all cases.
Okay, I do have a Jordanka Gonzalez. If you would enable your audio, Ms. Gonzalez, so we can swear you in.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. Can you please raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you're about to give in each proceeding shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Please say I do.
I do.
Thank you.
Good morning, Court Officer St. Louis. This violation was received by a tenant residing at the property. He's having issues with mice, creatures, and upon inspection, violation was observed and proceeded with the notice of violation mailed to the property owner. I didn't get any response back, not until the day before yesterday. I was made aware that Ms. Gonzalez was also the property manager for that property. I have pictures.
Did we receive this via complaint?
Yes, we did.
All right, Ms. Gonzalez, you're here representing the property owner, Mazal Investments 31 LLC.
Yes, Your Magistrate.
Okay, and you're familiar with the violations that have been issued, the various violations?
Yes, Your Magistrate.
I believe 4 of them.
Yes.
I've reviewed the photographs. Are we hearing them all at the same time? Or you want to take them one at a time?
Did you call them in?
I call them all into record.
All right, the first violation has to do with exterminating. Apparently, there are mice, rodents, stuck in the ceiling, I think. I see one picture in front of me right now. I've seen others. What's your response to that?
Your magistrate, we do pest control every third Friday of the month. I do pest control with the pest control gentleman. We throw poison in the units. We provide glue traps. I also install the glue traps. We have rodent boxes throughout the outside of the building.
So how does it happen that you end up with rodents on the property? How is that?
Well, your magistrate, some of our tenants aren't the cleanest, as you can see. The pest control is effective because obviously it's a dead mouse and not a live one. But as you can see, the unit, they're not the cleanest. I have let them know to please clean up their units because that prevents pests and rodents in their units. So they're supposed to maintain their units clean at all times.
Well, as property owner, you're ultimately responsible for any problems that may arise from any unit. So you say that you have an exterminator. What's the name of the exterminator?
Miami Nice Pest Control, your magistrate.
And they go out there once a month?
Yes, once a month, once a month on the third Friday, I conduct pest control with the gentleman.
And they exterminate inside each apartment?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How often?
And the common areas also.
How often do you see these rodents?
Not a lot, sir.
Okay.
Perhaps they need to do it more frequently.
Yeah, well, I don't know whether they're doing it effectively enough. Usually when the mice go die, they go die somewhere else, not inside an apartment, but I'm no expert in that. Maybe you ought to try a different method or a different pest controller, or try something different. I just don't, I can't tell you how to manage, but that's not acceptable, having mice inside somebody's unit. So what I'm going to do is I am going to require you to use whatever exterminating process, procedure is necessary to eliminate that problem. I'm going to adjudicate you guilty with respect to this violation. I'm going to give you 60 days to come back with an exterminator report, ensuring that there is no longer a mice or a rodent issue. I'd like you to bring back a report from your exterminator that he's done everything, he or she has done everything. I'm going to let you finish if possible. And if you've cured the violation, the fine will go away. But I'm going to adjudicate you guilty based on the evidence presented. I'm going to enter an adjudication and set a compliance date of 60 days. In the event of non-compliance, there shall be a daily fine of $250 until the violation is abated. When you come back, I need you to bring me a report from the exterminator.
Your magistrate, I did send that to her, along with the pictures of the rodent boxes that we install along the building.
We have that?
I have it in my email because initially I was dealing with Ms. Gonzalez. It was for a building on 121st Street. So I have it in that email for her.
Have you reviewed it?
I've reviewed it from when she told me, but I did not upload it.
Okay, so what we're going to do then at this point, since we haven't had an opportunity to review that exterminator report, I'm going to table this and bring it back at the next meeting, and we'll see where we are on that issue.
But Special Magistrate, I would like to state that if indeed there is, even if there is a report indicating that pest control services have been completed, the pictures tell a story that indicate that there is a life and safety issue at this location. Mm-hmm. And I'm not certain that the city would take the position of being comfortable in relying solely on a pest control report, when in fact we have tenants calling to complain that they have rats and rodents inside of their units. I would put the burden of responsibility or request that the magistrate put the burden of responsibility I don't know if this building needs to be covered. I don't know if, I don't know what the circumstances are there, but evidently the services that they're currently rendering in the units are not adequate.
Okay, I understand. It is a life safety issue, and I did see a dead mouse, and I'm hearing that there's other rodents, and maybe it does need to be tented. So I will give you time to convince me that you've done everything within your power to eliminate this problem. And I'm going to give you 60 days to do that. In the meantime, I'm going to adjudicate you guilty. Give you 60 days to come back and convince me that everything has been done to eliminate the problem. If that is not done, I'm still going to fine you $250 a day if it's not done within 60 days.
The special magistrate, the city would also request that they make arrangements with us to come in and conduct an inspection prior to that next hearing date.
Okay, so ordered.
Good morning, Your Honor. My
Yes,
apologies. I haven't been sworn in. I just walked in. I was over here in the conversation. I also signed up for the hearing. However, we don't have a mic on the other PC. Therefore, I'm using this one. My name is Roger Lopez. I can be sworn in and take my statement if you like. I am the problem.
I have already ruled. There's nothing that you can say that's going to change.
Well, first of all, if you go on record and you have someone stating that we have not notified them, and then they tell you that we received emails with pictures and the contract for pest control, I have an issue with that testimony. First of all and foremost, the fact that you are judging based on that is completely ludicrous. When this young lady went to the unit, which by the way, nowhere has she said what unit that unit is so we can address it. So how can we address it?
Sir, please stop. If you're going to testify, you need to be sworn
Oh,
in.
then swear me in. I'll be more than happy to testify, sir, because we have requested those meetings with her and we haven't received it. As you can see from her testimony, she did receive emails from us.
You're testifying without being sworn in.
Okay,
So let's swear you in.
Thank
Do you swear and affirm the testimony you're about to give in these proceedings shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Please say
I
do.
absolutely do.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Okay, so as previously stated by the inspector, which I have the utmost respect for all of them, I have a long-standing relationship with the city of North Miami addressing all these issues, okay? We can go back to Bestwick, Rahima, Willis, you name them. Great relationship with the building department. We pull permits to do our work, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So addressing this point, to make a statement that you haven't received any contact from this office, and then you testify that you got emails saying that we sent you the contracts with Miami Next Pest Control, to me, let's leave it at that. It is what it is. You draw your own conclusions. Okay. Regarding this particular unit, to this day, we have not been told what unit that is. How can we address that issue? Nowhere in the complaint does it say what unit it is. We have, like you previously stated, contacted them. I have asked for meetings with the inspector at the building, which he has not come. She says she's busy, she has sanitation, she has this and that. And I do understand that. We do have issues as well due to COVID-19, et cetera, lack of staff. I was out without a maintenance guy for 3 months. Except, which is not an excuse. We're trying to work the best we can. Now, if that young lady, when she did the inspection, she walks into a unit based on a complaint from a tenant, and she walks in a unit, and that unit is in disarray, trash and whatnot all around, you tell me what should have been done. I think the tenant should have been cited, not the landlord. Moreover, if that is the case, we'll be happy to serve a 7-day notice to cure on that tenant. We will monitor that unit for cleanliness, and if not, we will issue an eviction, which we'll try not to do based on CDC guidelines. But if that's what the city wants, we'll be happy to do that. I would like to see an inspection of that unit so that she can see and she can tell me exactly what she expects from the tenant for cleanliness. As far as pest control goes, we do it on a monthly basis. It's a professional company, licensed and insured. I believe, obviously, in my eyes, if you have a pest control issue and the mice is dead, obviously, it died because we provided the poison to kill it. If the tenant didn't clean that, we don't do housekeeping. The tenant is responsible for cleaning that. So she calls the city to say that she has, oh my God. Are you
Go
there?
ahead, yeah, go ahead.
Okay. And then on top of that, they're supposed to be reporting any issues with the units to the property manager, which she opens a work order and addresses any issues that they have. To this day, we don't have any work orders other than she called the city.
All right, so the city's gonna go out, work with the property owner, do an inspection, and then come back and let me know what's there.
No problem, Your Honor, if I may, I've made contact with Ms. Yordi regarding other properties. And what he's referencing, when I did speak to Ms. Yordi, was on a day that we were supposed to meet. I did tell her I have sanitation day to do, in which I did schedule another date to meet with her at another property. So it's not until 2 days ago she explained to me she also deals with the other property that he's referencing.
Okay, do they know which apartment building, which apartment unit we're talking about?
As far as the apartment unit, it's not listed in the violation, but in the pictures, what I did recommend is for the entire building to be exterminated.
Okay.
Because the issue is, if it's in one unit, it's happening in the entire building.
Yeah.
And I'd like to add also, the unit is that unit correct? Is it unit 211?
There's unit 211, because I went into a few units and I have pictures of all of them.
All right, so as with magistrate, what I would recommend at this point, the testimony that was just given suggesting that the tenants are the problem. I put the photos on screen to demonstrate and indicate regardless of the furnishings and personal belongings, the status of the structure itself. And so the city would request that these individuals make themselves available for a complete inspection of the entire property prior to the 60 days and coordinate with me directly. And the city would also request that the adjudication remain and a full inspection will be provided within that 60-day, before that next hearing.
All right, so we're gonna combine all of the various cases. The first one dealing with the extermination issue. The second one, the spalling, cracking, and rebars. The third one deals with ceiling leaks. And the final one deals with the repair of the roof. There's quite a bit of work necessary. It's not just the mice. It's a lot of other things. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna still find that there has been a violation based on the evidence presented as to each one of the citations, and I'm gonna give them 60 days to comply. In the event of non-compliance, there shall be a daily fine running to each violation of $250 until the violations are abated. So you got 60 days to work with the city and try to resolve these issues. If you can't work and get it resolved, then it's going to come back to me, and those fines are going to start accruing on a daily basis. So thank you very much. We have to move on to the next case. We're running a little bit behind. So
okay, how are we going to know? How are we going to know what date we're going to meet with the city? Are they going to notify us?
I have Ms. Yordi's phone number, so I'll be more than happy to give it to you.
The officer is going to coordinate contact with you and me so that we can coordinate a time for my staff to come out and conduct a complete inspection of the property.
And yeah, I would suggest both of you be there and take pictures, because that'll help decide.
We will. That's what we've been wanting.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Go Hurricanes. I went to UF.
The next customer is on the second floor of City Hall, and the name is Jean-Claude Paul, case number CEODS 2020-00036. The property address is 315 Northwest 127th Street, and the officer is Edwin San Luis.
Which building is this?
This is just a house.
We're looking forward. Stand and look at the camera.
Sir, can you please raise your right hand so I can swear you in? Do you solemnly swear in front of the testimony you're about to give in each proceeding shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Please say I do.
I do.
Thank you.
You have any translator?
Yes, just a moment.
Okay.
Creole interpreter, can you enable your video and audio, please?
Can you repeat the name of the case?
Jean, Jean, Claude, Claude, Paul.
Interpreter speaking. I did not catch the last name.
Paul.
All right, are we ready?
Yes. Are there translator?
All right. Has he been sworn? Does he understand?
Est-ce qu'on comprend? Vous jurez? Yes.
All right, let's proceed with the code officer.
Good morning, Code Officer St. Louis. This violation was opened back in August 24, 2020. It was in reference to outdoor storage that Mr. Paul has in his backyard. I've made contact with him. I actually handed him the notice to appear. He also explained that the majority of the items are removed and that the vehicles that is left in rear is for his brother and that he would get it removed. As of the final reinspection date on April 10th, the dismantled vehicle remained in the backyard.
Violation, ça c'est officier code Elmi Saint-Louis qui a parlé. Ça c'est une violation qui était présentée depuis le 14 août 2020 au sujet de storage ligne derrière la Cali avec une machine qui démantibulée. De parler avec lui, il dit que cette machine appartient à Freli et à partir de date réinspection le 10 avril 2021, machine n'a pas déplacé, lui là toujours.
Ok.
Okay. Can I respond to that now?
No, he'll have his opportunity, not right now though.
Done. Wap gen opportunité ou mais pas kounye.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, anything else?
No, the pictures are being shown on the screen.
Okay.
And the final inspection pictures are there as well, which is April 10th.
Photo violation va apparaître sur écran avec photo dernier ou inspection tout.
All right, Mr. Jean-Claude, you've been cited for having outdoor structures stored outside your house, car parts, mattresses, boxes, etc., which is in violation of the city's code. Do you understand the violation?
Monsieur Jean-Claude, yo bon citation à cause de plusieurs structures que vous gagnez dans la caille, en plus de matelas, boîtes, plusieurs bails qui accumulés derrière, qui en violation de code city. Est-ce que vous comprenez?
Oui.
Yes.
Do you contest the violations?
Est-ce que vous discutez violation ça? They were back there in fact, but they have removed them.
Oh, you've removed them already?
Everything is gone. Everything completely. Everything is gone.
Okay. I am going to find you guilty for having that condition for as long as it existed. It was a violation. And then I'm going to give the inspector a suggestion to go out there and take another look. And if the inspector finds that the violations have been corrected, then you won't have to pay a fine. But I am going to adjudicate you guilty based on the evidence presented. And even though you say that you've corrected the violations, I have no proof of that. Mr. Interpreter, I'm going on too far. So interpret what I've said, and then I'm going to continue.
Yes, Your Honor. Je trouve qu'on est coupable de violation ça parce que tu existé pour tant de duration que tu existé. Alors, ma inspecteur en suggestion pour le tourner, pour le garder, pour le vérifier si en effet ou corriger violation ça alors ou pas obligé responsable pour comme ou bien frère violation ça alors de coups m'a rentré je dirais que coupable parce que je n'ai pas aucune preuve.
All right.
I came here with all the photos of everything I did back there. I do not know if you'll be able to see them.
But that is not going to be sufficient. What I'm going to require is for there to be another inspection to make sure that there's full compliance. So I will schedule a 30-day inspection. Within 30 days, the city will go out and do an inspection. If there is everything has been cleared, then there's no violation. If it hasn't been cleared within 30 days, then I'm going to impose a $500 violation. Okay?
Ça n'a pas suffi. Ça m'a demandé c'est que yo programmé une autre inspection. M'a bon 30 jours que une autre inspection faite en autre 30 jours et si inspecteur allait et lui voit que ou clarifier toute violation yo alors ou pas coupable. Par contre, s'il trouvait que ou pas en effet retirer violation yo, m'a imposé un prêt de violation de $500. Alors, on va attendre pour programmer une inspection pour que tout va être fait, que vérifier que tout va être fait en notre 30 jours.
Ok.
Ok.
Mais tout d'abord, il a fait déjà. Je vais dire faire en vérification. Tout d'abord, mettez machine, mettez matelas, mettez boîte, mettez tout bagage, demandez pour retirer.
Okay, everything has been done. They can come out and verify that everything has been done. I've removed everything, all the mattresses, the boxes, everything has been done. They can come by and verify.
Okay, and if it continues, if it happens again, and if it becomes a repeat violation, then I'm going to be a little bit more stringent and impose a higher fine, and I'm not going to waive the fine.
Alors, si nous trouvons tout que continue et que problème ça fait encore et que le vient tourner une violation qui a répété, m'a pas un petit genre plus strict et m'a imposé un frais de violation qui a pire.
C'est la première fois que je vais
That's the first time that the inspector has found these things. Because I just got the permit. I have the permit to do the enclosure because it was open back there. And I just got the permit. I'm going to do the enclosure.
All right. I said 30 days. Okay. So you got 30 days to convince the inspector that everything is in proper order.
Alors, vous avez 30 jours. Vous avez 30 jours pour convaincre l'inspecteur que tout va être fait en ordre.
Ok, merci.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Merci, passez bonne journée. Thank you.
The next three cases on the agenda are for William Saron, KCFAC 2020-00006, CEMHS 2020-00016, CEMHS 2020-00017. The property address is 365 Northeast 125 Street. Edmund St. Louis is the officer on all three cases. Is he right in here? He's on the second floor, I'm sorry. Yes, he's in City Hall.
Good morning.
We'll take them all together in the past. Let's start with the first one.
Good morning.
Sir, can you please raise your right hand so I can swear you in? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you're about to give in each proceeding shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Please say I do.
I do.
Thank you.
State your full name and relationship to the property, please.
William Siren, owner.
How do you spell your last name?
Syron.
Gotcha. All right. You've been cited on 3 violations. One for an air conditioner, the second one sliding glass door and an entrance door. The third one is a sink and a kitchen cabinet. Let's start with the air conditioner.
The bathroom cabinet.
Sir, I didn't hear you.
It's not the kitchen cabinet, it's the bathroom cabinet.
Okay. We'll hear from the code officer who knows best.
Okay.
Good morning, Court Officer St. Louis. These 3 violations came in to the tenant who's residing at Unit 405. And upon receiving the inspection, I proceeded with opening the violation. The initial violation was opened in June 8th, 2020. The tenant explained that the AC hasn't been working. He contacted Mr. Siron. He explained that Mr. Siron refused to fix the issue. When I made contact with Mr. Siron, he explained to me the issue is more so finances and also with the tenant not willing to pay. And from there, I explained to both the tenant and Mr. Siron, it sounds more that this issue has become more of a tenant and landlord. But as if in regards to city violations, the violations did exist. And then I proceeded with issuing the violations for the air conditioner, as well as the sliding door. I did inspections for all 3 of them, and I have pictures. The sliding door is sturdy.
Wait, before you go to the sliding glass door, what's wrong with the air conditioner?
It's not operating when I entered the unit. At the time when I was able to go inside to do inspections, it was hot inside the unit. The AC is not working. He attempted to turn on the AC in front of me. I'd see where the problem reside. And there's no thermostat to even tell what the temperature is inside.
Okay. Please don't interrupt. Okay. Is that it for the air conditioner?
For the air conditioner.
All right. You were telling me about the sliding glass door?
The sliding glass door does not close. The attempt to try to close the sliding door myself to see what the issue was. It appears that it may be just stuck in one position. And in the front door, it's just falling apart. And it just needs to be changed. And as far as for the bathroom cabinets, it's the sink has a hole on the bottom. The pipe needs to be replaced, or the entire sink needs to be replaced. And tenant has not been able to use it. Instead, he's using the kitchen sink to brush his teeth, as he explained to me.
Okay, just briefly, I want you to put up the pictures showing the various code violations.
I have a little delay here, Magistrate. I apologize.
No problem. Madam Code Officer, you said that the issue that you discussed with the property owner was, 1, it's the tenant's responsibility, and 2, that there was no money to fix things?
No. The issue that I discussed with both of them, when I made contact with the tenant and also contacted the property owner while the tenant was present, it sounded more like it was a tenant outside of the code violation. The other issue is more of a tenant and landlord issue. But when I did inspect, there was code violation and proceeded with the code violation.
Okay, so I thought I heard financial issue. No, okay.
The financial issue is tenant.
So you got a fight between the landlord and the tenant.
Yes.
And the city just wants it fixed,
Yes.
right? Doesn't matter, but
Violations
okay.
that exist.
And that's because under the city code, the owner is ultimately responsible for any defects and deficiencies in the property, correct? The city doesn't care who fixes it, but the owner definitely has to fix it.
That is
It's the
correct.
owner's responsibility, even though the tenant may be occupying the property. Did I state it correctly, Madam City Attorney? Do you agree?
Correct, Special Magistrate. You said it correctly, and I agree.
Okay. I don't want to overstep my bounds, but I thought that's the way the code is written.
Yes, it is.
Okay. All right, so there are the pictures. What is that a picture of?
The door is falling apart. Termites may have been eating it. And then the front door, it closes, but for some reason, the way it closes, it doesn't close properly.
Is this an apartment or a single family home?
The apartment, it's a condo.
This is a condo.
Mhm.
Okay, so the tenant is renting in a condo
Unit.
multi-family unit, multi-family building. Okay. All right. Different ownerships for different condos?
Mhm.
Okay,
But that specific unit, Mr. Saron is the.
okay. All right, so everybody has a chance to see that there's some problems with the unit. Did you show the cabinet?
That's the next one.
Why don't you tell us for the record, what do the pictures represent?
This is the bathroom cabinet, just showing that it's falling apart. On the bottom, the pipe that's supposed to be connected to the, for it to flush away has a hole in it. The whole cabinet itself is caving in, as you can see in this picture.
So it doesn't drain, is that?
It doesn't drain,
Okay.
and the bottom would also need to be replaced on the inside.
And what, is that the same pipe?
That is the same pipe.
Okay.
That was on when he was scheduled for the previous hearing.
Okay, what previous hearing?
He was scheduled to appear at the previous hearing, but unfortunately he had an emergency and we tabled it for this one.
Okay, okay. All right, Mr. Ciron, tell me what's happening.
Okay. I have filed, this guy has not paid any money in the last, since March of 2019. Or 2020, yes, 2021. I agree that the air conditioning, what he did, is I did go up and change, there's a bad capacitor. What he did, when he found out I filed an eviction notice, he turned the circuit breaker off to the air conditioner and broke the thermostat. He broke 2 refrigerators. He's violated the condo association law. He's got 3 dogs in there, and the condo association says no. I filed for eviction, and he won't leave. I tried to go into the apartment to repair things. I had to file a police report because he threatened me physically and punched the wall right over my head. But I went down to City of North Miami Police Department because it's a he said thing. There was nothing they could do because there's no proof one way or another. He says one thing, I say another, so we're stuck there. He says, the officer said, unless I could get proof that he did these things, I'm stuck. It's a complicated
What's the status of the
He will
eviction
not let me
proceeding?
in the apartment. I tried to go in to repair things with a helper. He will not let me in.
Sir, stop.
Government keeps telling me I can't evict him. I filed in November and it's still not allowed.
Sir, you're telling me that the judge will not proceed with an eviction based on the circumstances of this case?
That's what I've been told. I don't know why. This does not make any sense. The building wants him gone. Everybody there wants him gone. And why won't you let me evict him?
Sir, my understanding, listen, relax. Okay? Let me tell you, let me tell you something. Some judges will not evict based on non-payment of rent, but they will evict based on what's going on here. If your allegations are that he's causing damage to your apartment, the judge will hear it. And so I don't know the facts of your case, and I don't know what judge you've got, but there is no excuse to let this eviction drag on while these conditions are ongoing in your own unit.
I'm with you. I do not understand why this is happening.
Do you have an attorney?
What?
Do you have an attorney?
I have a property manager who's helping me with the eviction. I don't have the money for the attorney. This guy has cost me a fortune. Look, I got really bad teeth I can't fix. I got skin cancer. I have no money for any of this. This guy is killing me. I'm paying his electric bill, and you guys won't let me turn the electricity off. This is ridiculous. This is not fair. I take care of everything. You could talk to the condo board. I pay my bill every month. I pay my taxes. This guy is scamming the system. He scammed me every. He came to me right after my wife died. He did all the contracts and all that, and I'm lost. I don't know what to do. I am furious. He took advantage of me. He's using the system. The magistrate, when you do an eviction now, they make you go to an arbitrator. The city of North Miami has programs where if the renter can't pay, they will help out with the rent. He refused all of that. Everything. He hasn't given me a dime. I can't afford it. I'm ready to walk away from the apartment. I got someone who wants to buy it, but they won't do it with him in there.
All right. I understand your frustration, and I understand that money is a problem, but the city cannot allow these types of violations ongoing in a unit within a condo property. It is not acceptable, and I'm not going to tell you which way to go. I think that there's an opportunity to evict if you get an attorney. A property manager is not allowed to represent you in an eviction proceeding, so you're going about it the wrong way.
I already have an eviction notice.
I can't explain to you what you need to do, but these violations need to be corrected. And if it means you have to borrow the money, you'll have to do it. But they have to be corrected.
Let me ask you this. I have a police report where he threatened me. He's tried to sue me. What am I supposed to do? With him in there, what am I going to do? Are you going to have a cop sit there while I'm doing all the jobs so he doesn't attack me or threaten me? Or
I don't know what to tell you, sir. Anybody here has any thoughts as to how to proceed with his problem? Will the tenant be required to also cooperate and allow for somebody to come in and repair? I mean, what remedies do we have?
Do we have access to the tenant?
Previously I had access to the tenant, but his phone number does not work. Upon final inspection, I had no access to inside the unit. So right now it's just a matter of knocking on the door and hoping he's home.
Well, I would also put on the table condemning the unit and red tagging it and getting, you know, some relief. It's not habitable. It's not a place where anybody should be living. So if you red tag it, he's going to have to leave, and then you'll do whatever repairs are necessary. I think that's another solution. But sir, I'm going to find that based on the evidence, the violation exists. I will give you 60 days to do whatever you need to do in 60 days.
All right, I'll do my best. I promise.
Okay.
You, it's not anything I don't want to do.
I'll give you 60 days to figure it all out. And if you can't figure it out, if the violations are still there, in 60 days, the case will come back to me, and I will impose a daily fine of $250.
All right, I will do my best, Your Honor. I am trying to get him out of there.
Okay. Well, we may
I
have
no problem fixing everything, but he scares me.
Well, I think with an order that I will sign, it may help the eviction go better.
Okay, I will talk to the judge.
Okay.
Now,
right.
can I talk to the city attorney for a minute?
Not now. You may call. You may want to call the code officer, and the code officer will talk to you about it.
Okay.
The attorney works for the city. The city attorney doesn't work for residents.
Well, I just was asking a question if North Miami's doing any kind of eviction. Call
All
it
right.
now.
Okay. All right. Thank you, sir. Have a good day. As to all three cases, the ruling is the same.
Thank you. The next two items on the agenda are Theodore McCall. He's here in City Hall on the second floor. His case numbers are CEEXT 2020-00052 and CEWWC 2020-00047. The property address for both cases is 345 Northwest 132 Street, and Edme St. Louis is the officer on both cases.
All right. Is the owner present?
Sir, you just have to look into that,
Okay. Sir, please tell us your full name, address, and relationship to the property. Name, address, and relationship to the property. Can you hear us?
Not very well, sir.
All right, let me get closer to the microphone. I need to know your name, your address, and your relationship to the property.
My name is Theodore McCall. I live at 345 Northwest 132 Street, and I'm half owner of the property. My niece and nephew own the other half.
That's William Bartram and Elizabeth Kirkpatrick.
Elizabeth Kirkpatrick.
Okay.
William Bartram informed me he has nothing to do with it. I informed him about this hearing. He says I have nothing to do with it.
All right.
Put his name on it.
That's fine. That's fine. Let me hear from the code officer. Okay, go ahead.
Sir, can you raise your right hand so that I can swear you in, please? Can you raise your right hand so that I can swear you in?
Raise your hand.
Yeah, I
need to swear you in.
Where do you go? Could you help me? You to raise your right hand. Oh, I'm sorry.
Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you're about to give in these proceedings is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Please say I do. Thank you.
All right, let's hear from the code officer. First violation is one that involves painting the exterior walls.
Yes. Good afternoon, Code Officer Edme St. Louis. This violation came about while I was doing an inspection for the alleyway for them to cut the property. And upon inspection, I also noticed the walls needed to be painted, and as well as the roof. It appears as if it's falling apart. A violation was issued on 10/19/2020. I've also left my business card, the city card for the property owner to contact me or somebody to contact me. It's not until today I see the part owner of the property, and violation remains as of final reinspection on April 10th, 2021.
All right, I've seen the photographs. Sir, are you contesting the violations?
Yes, sir, I'm trying to. I painted the walls and I obtained a repair permit. What I'm doing though, I'm currently trying to sell the property because I'm getting too old to maintain it. My eyes are going, so is my hearing. So I'm selling it.
How much time do you need to correct the violations?
So what is it? Repainting the exterior walls?
Paint the exterior walls, repair the roof.
I thought I did paint the exterior walls. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, why don't we put the pictures on so he can see what we're
Put it
talking
on.
We're going to put the pictures up.
All right, thank you.
Got a closer view?
Maybe you want to tell us what as you can see on this side of the wall,
On the right side.
on the right side of the wall, there's stains on there. It appears as if it's like mildew, green stains. And the awnings are not painted. And the rear of the property is still not painted. If you scroll down some more, there's more pictures of that.
Sorry, there's a delay here.
This is the rear of the property.
With the back too, okay.
Yeah, that doesn't look very good, sir. Looks like it hasn't been painted for years.
I haven't. I thought it looked all right, but like I said, my eyes are going. I'll paint the whole thing. I thought we were just talking about the front.
No, it's the whole house.
Yeah, I'll paint the whole house.
That's right. Yeah. And how about the roof? You want to show me a picture of the roof?
I did apply for a repair permit.
But it hasn't been done as of today.
Say again, sir?
We're going to show you what the roof looks like.
I painted it. I painted the roof section.
Yeah, we'll show you what the roof looks like.
I painted the roof section. Just that photograph.
If you can see in that picture, the part of the roof is falling apart.
On the right side?
Yes.
You got some missing tiles there.
Yeah, I gotta paint the back still, but I can do that like too. No problem.
See that, sir? You see where the tiles are missing?
I can't hear you.
This is for the roof.
You see where the tiles are missing on top of the roof? They're missing tiles.
Okay, I gotta put them back. I just gotta put some tile set on the corners.
Doesn't look like that's gonna be enough, sir. You're gonna need a roofer.
I know, I need a new roof. That's why I'm selling the place. This is
All
just
right,
too much
so-
for me.
That's fine, but you're gonna have to make sure that it's corrected. Or the person that you sell it to is gonna have to make sure that it's corrected. So I'm gonna just, to move this along a little quicker, based on the testimony of the code compliance officer, the photographs, and the evidence presented showing that the violations exist, proper notice has been given, the property owner has testified, I find in favor of the city, enter an adjudication and set a compliance date of 60 days. In the event of non-compliance, there shall be a daily fine of $500 until the violation is abated. As to each one of the violations.
I'm fined $500 right now.
No, sir, you have 60 days to correct the violations, and if you do not correct the violations in 60 days, you will be subjected to a $500 a day fine.
I understand.
Violations are corrected.
Okay, I understand, sir.
You got 60 days to get your act together.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Unless I sell the place before then.
I hope so.
Yeah, it's the whole house needs to rebuild. It's as old as I am.
Yeah, it looks like it might be a better option to just go ahead and demolish it and start all over again.
That's what I was thinking, like, just tear it down to the foundation and rebuild it.
I think it'll be easier that way.
I think so too. It's like the
Okay.
house is on its last legs, just like me.
Yeah. All right. Have a wonderful day, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
0037. The address is 325 Northwest 127th Street. Edney St. Louis is the officer, and there's no one present for this case.
Magistrate, at this time, can I go ahead and release the,
Yes,
the
you may.
interpreters?
You may.
Interpreters, you may be released. Thank you.
The address is 325.
Thank you.
127. Street. The name is Osler, A-U-S-L-E-R.
Good afternoon, Code Officer Edney St. Louis. This violation was issued
Number
on
one.
August 24, 2020. It was in regards to outdoor storage that the property had in the rear of the property, which were fridge, mattresses, and miscellaneous items. As of the final reinspection, the violation remains. The fridge still remains outdoor. On the day of the final inspection, I actually spoke to the property owner and she explained that she would get the fridge removed. Pictures were taken and property still in violation.
All right. I think a picture is worth 1,000 words. Just show me one picture showing the garbage, debris, stuff that was out there in the open.
The initial picture
Okay.
when the violation was generated.
Is that the front of the house or the back of the house?
It's the rear of the house. This is the front of the house. This picture was when I posted the notice to appear. I also took a picture of the violation. And as of April 10th, the final inspection,
What did the owner say?
that they would go ahead and remove the rest of the items along with the fridge.
Okay. And as of April the 10th, it was still there?
That is correct.
Okay. Anything else?
Have y'all. the violation remains.
Based on the unrebutted testimony of the city's code compliance officer, the photographs and the evidence presented depicting that the cited violation still exists and that proper notice has been given, I find in favor of the city, enter an adjudication and set an abatement date of 30 days. In the event of non-compliance, there shall be a daily fine of $500 until the violation is abated.
That concludes all items on the agenda.
Thank you. Do we adjourn?
Yes.
We're adjourned. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Carolyn.
Thank you.
Not a problem.